If you've got a pet, let's hope you're not too high and mighty to take it out for a walk sometime. No need to feel self-conscious, because no one ever stares. At least, well, not usually. Mind you, even this sight doesn't seem out of place in Southport, Lancashire, where they've already met Mrs. Helen Farrar and her 2.5-year-old pet Indian lion, Rajah. To his friends, Rajah is merely an overgrown pussycat, a cute 350-pound bundle of charm, brought up since he was a year old, on a diet of 4 pints of milk and 10 pounds of meat a day by Mrs. Farrar and her husband, who own Southport Zoo. If this is what they mean by biting the hand that feeds you, Mrs. Farrar must lose an awful lot of arms. This is Rajah's tough expression, but if you just ignore him, it's quite safe. He was just practicing for a part in a new jungle film. Really, he's just a big baby at heart. And when he's taken back to the zoo after living at the house, Mrs. Farrar often has to sleep in his cage for 2 or 3 nights until he has settled down. Rajah does his best, but the other animals are not very impressed. So why is that chap looking so worried? Oh, well, we're not short of cameramen. At Harpur Hill in Derbyshire, a little-known group of volunteers make up part of the exclusive Royal Air Force Mountain Rescue Unit. These are the clerks, the mechanics, the cooks, who might be called upon at any time to risk their lives for their fellow men, the occupants of a crashed plane, or more often a fallen climber. Exclusive because only 200 men are qualified to wear the insignia approved by Her Majesty the Queen, crossed ice axes superimposed on a coil of rope. Today, 15 years since the first unit was formed in Wales, there are 7 in the United Kingdom and another in Cyprus. Members of the unit all do other jobs, with the exception of the sergeant in charge, who looks after the equipment while standing by. When he's first notified by the police, he alerts the team over the camp loudspeaker system, which means that a cook who 1 minute might be preparing vegetables for the stew literally drops everything to link up with other members of the unit. Anyone who has an aptitude for climbing is given the opportunity of joining the rescue unit, which means that some men who had never seen a mountain before work side by side with men who gained their climbing experience in the Himalayas. This exercise is principally a test of climbing efficiency. For more often than not, a plan of campaign can't be worked out until the circumstances have been ascertained. If, for example, the unit is given only a vague idea of where the injured person or persons might be located, the party is split into teams of 3, each equipped with a walkie-talkie, and with at least 1 man trained in first aid. Training takes place at weekends and 1 day during the week, but men give their time willingly, even the chap on the stretcher. For the sake of team spirit and efficiency, normal service etiquette such as seniority of rank is often overlooked, and the rescue team placed in charge of the man with the most local knowledge and experience, an officer often handing over to an NCO. Little factors like sleeping in the same hut or barrack room so that they can mobilize more speedily at night shows how seriously these men take their job, which, after all, is a voluntary one. Formed specifically for airmen who have crashed in the mountains, the service has also gradually become a public one. And today, many a climber owes his life to the men of the mountain rescue teams.